You know, I had an idea like that once, a long time ago.
Really? What was it, Tom?
It was a jump to conclusions mat. You see, it would be this mat that you would put on the floor and would have different conclusions written on it that you could jump to.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, Tom.
Mom, I really like this.
Cute.
What's it made of? Wool. Like from a cow?
Uh-huh. Duh, actually, all wool comes from a cow.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Can I come into the out now?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh, Dad, you sounded like Dirty Harry just then.
Oh, idiot.
What would you say you do here?
Wow, the insecurity level with you guys is ridiculous.
And every time something would go wrong, I would look at the camera and say, hey, what happened?
Yeah, I believe you have my stapler.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the intersection of faith, family, and filmmaking. You're listening to Fearless with Mark and Amber. Life is confusing, culture is loud, but God's word is clear. Here you'll find hope, truth, and practical encouragement to stand strong in your faith and lead your family with courage. I'm Amber Archer, and joining me is my husband, author, director, speaker, Mark Archer.
I'm not arguing that with you.
You can learn more about us and our media ministry by visiting fearlessfeatures.org. It's also a great place to make that one-time or monthly donation if you are passionate about reaching the lost for Christ through media. Visit fearlessfeatures.org to share your support today.
I have no response to that.
Here we are
Yay,
again.
back for another episode.
Good times.
Yeah.
So
Wait. What is this, 322?
This is episode 322.
322 podcast episodes. Welcome to the pod.
I know he can get the job, but can he do the job?
Wow, whoever thought? I mean, we started this back in what, 2020?
It's 2020 because we had a movie.
Inwood Drive,
Inwood Drive was done, and we just won it. We couldn't get it anywhere.
Everything was shut down.
Everything was closed, and so we thought, well, we'll do
We're
a
like,
podcast.
hey, let's talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, those of you who have subscribed, especially to the YouTube channel. We appreciate that. Share that with your friends. Leave reviews. It helps us get out there and helps more people know and understand the times just by way of the movies that we make, helping you to see clearly through a biblical worldview, because everything that we do is biblical worldview.
So many kind souls in the
universe.
Yes,
so thank you.
Yes, and we have buttons too.
Yeah.
So.
Snapsies. as our kids do. Snapsies.
I have no response to that.
All right, here we go.
Everything we do in the Archer household is communicated through movie quotes.
Yes. It's quite interesting.
So so last week we did not have a video because we wanted to take a break, like a lot of people, and just kind of process what had happened with Charlie Kirk. So if you haven't gone back and listened to an event that we recorded with Pastor Rob McCoy, so the question came up to me. A couple of people asked if we knew Charlie Kirk. We did not.
We attended his pastor's summit in Georgia in March earlier this year.
Yeah, and many of you helped us get there, and we appreciate that. We know Rob McCoy, who was his pastor. Rob McCoy is in Dysphoria. And if you watch Charlie Kirk's memorial service, Rob McCoy was the pastor at the beginning, shared the gospel very clearly. I love how at the end he called out all the pastors who wouldn't let Charlie Kirk have any place in their church.
And it's really interesting, and I think encouraging as well. I mean, especially to people like us in the mission field, who it's very difficult for us to penetrate, if you will, the walls of the evangelical churches in America.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, well, we just do the gospel here. We're not doing politics. Well, we're not actually talking about politics. We're talking about the things.
Yeah, that's what we get accused of
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Well, they make political movies. Now, if you would watch them, you would see. Like I said, we got accused of this when we did The Mind Polluter.
Yeah.
And I said, gosh, if you watch the whole movie, the one party that we call out specifically is the Republicans.
Yeah.
Especially the Republicans in Indiana.
Well, and I think, and not to get too far into, donkey versus elephant or anything like that.
Donkifant.
Donkifant. It's, and the lamb, slain lamb, whatever. It's interesting in what's happening. It's very clear that there is one party that is willing to stand and uphold biblical truths,
yes,
Judeo-Christian values, and another party who is actively pushing and pursuing secular lies and other religions, man-made religions.
Let's face it, the Democrat Party has been co-opted by communists.
Yeah, a Marxist,
communist,
socialist.
It's a Marxist party.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't understand what that is, I mean, we've talked about it many times. Do some research on Marxism. Go read the Communist Manifesto, the Humanist Manifesto. Read a book called The Naked Communist. Watch Dysphoria.
And that's the thing. Like there are so many resources available, and I think a lot of times we can gloss over things when we don't understand terms. And I think that was one of the things. Earlier, I was listening to a great podcast, and they were talking about debate, and it said whoever controls the terms wins the argument.
Yeah.
And if you start hearing people start to label people, it's in order to dismiss them, because right now we're hearing this big push of Christian nationalism. Listen, when we got done with the mind polluters and the Washington Post wrote an article including us in it, we were labeled Christian nationalists.
Yeah.
Do we stand for the things of the Lord? Yes. Do we stand for the founding and how our nation was created? Yes. The Lord has in there specifically that he is the one who has created the nations.
Yeah.
But there is one party who's looking for a one world kind of government.
Yeah.
And so
that is the Democrat Party, like it or not.
Yeah,
I could go on and on.
Whoever's not with me is against me.
Yeah. Anyway, on that, so we have events that we wanted to remind people of.
Oh, yes.
So let's start at the furthest out, the Ark Encounter in April. So we are going to be speaking at the Ark Encounter as part of the Answers for Women Conference 2026. It's actually, they have so many people coming. They're now doing 2 back-to-back in the same week. Right.
It's anchored Pursuing Biblical Sexuality in a Turbulent World. The weekend conference, sort of like the theme, Psalm 62:2, He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be greatly shaken. And so, we are just living in a very turbulent time where identity is under attack. Christianity is under attack. Unfortunately, we just saw that manifest again over the weekend with a church being attacked in Michigan. So these conferences are really, especially for parents who need encouraged in a way to help their children, especially if you have children in the public education system. By no means am I knocking the public education system. I am just trying to gently warn you that what's being taught today is leading your children astray.
So I'll knock the public education system all day, but
well, I just know that there are good. We have good godly teachers as friends and people who are in there as missionaries who are trying to make a difference.
I get it if you don't have any choice, and that's I get it. There are a lot of people that is all the option that they have, and so you have to be those vigilant parents, but just realize that that it is largely co-opted by communists now, really. So anyway, so at the Ark Encounter in April, you can go to Answers in Genesis.
Yeah, I'll leave a link in the show notes, but it says, join us for Anchored, Pursuing Biblical Sexuality in a Turbulent World, where you'll find answers to many questions. Why are side A and side B Christianity so dangerous? Is there a link between church compromise on sexuality and secular organizations with big money? How can we use media to equip Christians to deal with the issues of sexuality?
That would be us.
That's us. Are people born gay? Why is marriage defined as only between a man and a woman? How can we help our children navigate the minefield of sexuality and embrace God's good design for them? Should women prioritize their marriage while shepherding their children? Is the fight for LGBTQ rights a civil rights issue? Is sexuality holy? And can we effectively fight for our rights as women in a gender-confused world?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I don't remember which one of those Vadi Bakum was going to speak to, but the Lord called him home before he was going to be able to join us there at the Ark Encounter. So not sure yet who they're going to get to fill his space, but I'm sure it'll be good. There are a lot of headline keynotes that are powerful and encouraging for you.
It's been a rough year or so.
Yeah.
For believers, we've lost
John MacArthur,
James Dobson, Vody,
Charlie
Kirk. I mean, there's been some
significant,
powerful names in preaching. Billy Graham a couple of years ago. The people that we've lost, and like we talked about a few weeks ago, we want to encourage people to be educated, because it's like when you've got a child who is scared of the darkness in the closet, or something that they imagine is lurking, the monster under the bed, and you give them a flashlight and the light penetrates and they can see it's not a monster, it's your coat. Mm-hmm. Right? That's just creating funny shadows.
Yeah, I was going to say, and to constantly be reminding them that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Right. That the light penetrates and gives clarity and exposes that there is no danger there. Mm-hmm. And the Lord calls us his children, and sometimes that's what we do. And so when we sit and we cower and we say, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, and that's what so many Christians have done. And so these things, when they take you by surprise, I think to people like us, and a lot of you that are listening, it still shocks you, but on the other hand, it increasingly does not surprise you when these things happen, because because you are being educated. You've educated yourselves, as have we.
Listen, we're closer and closer to the day of the Lord's return is what
Yeah. We have educated ourselves and shared with you through our films what we have learned.
Yeah.
That's that, like you always say, one body, many parts. Our part in this is to tell the stories.
Expose, Ephesians 5:11 have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, rather expose them.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we
literally
do.
Come in and turn on the lights and record it, and that's what wickedness can't stand. That's why they had to. I was reading this morning. I was sitting at the tire shop waiting for them to rotate and balance my tires on my minivan, my man van.
Your man van.
And and I was reading Proverbs 29,
mm-hmm.
and verse 10 really stuck out to me. Bloodthirsty men hate a man of integrity and seek to kill the upright.
Mm-hmm.
That's Charlie Kirk. That's every single church attack that you see.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodthirsty men, they thirst for blood. They literally desire destruction and death. They literally. What you're seeing is many denominations of the same religion. Mm-hmm. Remember, there's only two worldviews. You either follow God or you follow Satan. And so whether it's a communist, a Marxist, an Antifa member, a BLM, an LGBTQIA+, whatever their particular denomination is, they still worship Satan. Mm-hmm. And
because it's man-made. You're right. Not following the Lord and the things of the Lord.
Right. And so they are bloodthirsty. And so you're starting to see that. I had saved a bunch of these, crazed liberals celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, and I thought, I'm not even going to share this. We'll get to that at some point. Maybe it'll end up in Principalities. I don't know, but all you need to know is that, and if you feast on that, it will mess with your mind, and you will live in fear. And that's not what we're not called to be have a spirit of fear. It is a spirit of fear. You're called to live free and have a spirit of courage and bravery. And so that's so on that then. Let's tell them about Mar-a-Lago and the update there.
Yeah, so with Mar-a-Lago, we were, like we've told many of you, we were invited to go to a masquerade ball in Mar-a-Lago to celebrate. And the event organizers thought it best to just postpone that until a later time. And just so that the nation could really get through and mourn and figure itself out during this time. So we were grateful for the invitation, and hopefully they'll be able to get that rescheduled soon. But I can't imagine that too many things. When you talk about Mar-a-Lago, I'm sure there's a wait.
Yeah, exactly. So in light of that, and many of you helped support us in our efforts to make that trip, and we appreciate that. And so to be good stewards of the funds that you gave us, we can't do anything about that event being postponed. But what we can do is we can steward those funds towards moving forward. And so, the Mar-a-Lago trip was in conjunction with beginning the production of Principalities, which is our next film, which talks about all of this from the spiritual perspective. So it is about spiritual warfare, and you're hearing a lot of people talk about this now. Principalities is going to melt your mind when you see it when it's done. But we decided we're going to pivot. We're going to, instead of waiting around for that to get rescheduled, we're going to go and pick up other interviews. 4 interviews. So we are going west here in a couple of weeks. And one of the side benefits of this is that we are actually going to screen Dysphoria in Colorado. We are working
at a church. Thank you, bold pastors and leaders.
And so when we finalize the details on that, we'll have that probably for you next week. We will let you know. Now, you can help us because we are still fundraising. This is missionary filmmaking, right? So we're still fundraising, but we know that it's time to go. So we have scheduled, and we've got our interviews scheduled. We're picking up 4 interviews on this trip, and we're going to do this screening. We're literally going to the belly of the beast, and we're showing Dysphoria. If you've seen Dysphoria, this is like going in and dropping a bomb. And it won't surprise you if you listen to this or you've seen Dysphoria that we're coordinating with Aaron Lee, who's there in Colorado. So we're going to be in Colorado Springs to show Dysphoria at a large church. So you can help us with that by pre-ordering Compromised.
Yeah, Mark's new book, Compromised. Proceeds go to directly help fund that. So we'll leave a link in the show notes so you can get something bonus in conjunction with helping support the ministry of getting us there.
Right. So part of that is you can get your name in the credits of Principalities.
Yep. There's different bundle options for you with the book.
But also, we're going to start sharing with our early adopters, if you will, behind the scenes of the preparations, and you can
while we're there,
and you can see what's going on. To us, it's kind of every day, but we realize that not everybody knows what it takes to put something like that.
Well, and this is the first time that we're allowing people to jump on board and partner with us in a way that they can have basically like their name in the credits of the film.
Yeah.
And so we're excited. We're excited for that. We're excited for what the Lord is doing and how He's bringing people together, because I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but there is just this feel of emergency, urgency to get something done. And that's what we feel in our spirit, is this urgency to get moving, continue to move.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I know you thought you were going here, but I'm sending you here.
Yeah.
And the Lord surely opened the doors for other things that we were not expecting to happen on this upcoming trip. So we would really appreciate your prayers, financial support, through this process and just be part of something of what God is doing and moving across the country.
Yeah. And if you've listened to Aaron's story and the madness that's happening out in Colorado, and it makes you angry and you feel powerless to do anything about it, well, here's your opportunity. You can help send us there.
Yeah.
Order the book. You can support our journey out there. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
And we're gonna show Dysphoria there, and I'm sure it's going to be spicy.
Yeah.
So please partner with us in prayer. We could use your financial support, and you can be part of that journey with us. Also, here in Indiana, we're going to show Title IX.
Yeah.
On November 2nd. It's a Sunday evening. It's a free screening, 6 p.m. at Maranatha Glory Apostolic Church in Napanee, Indiana. So they have been supporters of us. Pastor Michael has been a supporter as well, and they have asked if they could show Title IX up there. So if you're in the Elkhart, Goshen, Napanee area, it's a free screening.
Mark it on your calendar.
Mark it on your calendar, 6 p.m. We will be there with the film, Title IX.
Hey, and listen, if you've seen any of our films and would love to bring the film to your community, send us an email through the website, contact us, and we would love to talk to you to help get this in your community. A lot of times, it was one of those things when we were watching the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and Pastor Rob McCoy, at the end of his message, just humbly, firmly, and boldly said to all of you pastors who told him no, that he couldn't come in and speak, he's speaking to your congregation now.
Yeah.
And so often it was such an encouragement, especially to us, because of so many pastors and elder boards end up saying, oh, it's too political. We only do the gospel here. We can't show people this. Well, that's where we kind of look and go, unfortunate for your community. They could learn so much.
Yeah.
And hiding the truth from them, thinking that it's doing them any favors is not again, we bring in the flashlight, the spotlight. We got this, 5K production term.
That's a movie term. 5K refers to how many watts the light is.
Sorry.
So that would be a 5,000 watt fixture.
Sorry, I thought about that after I said that. Well, I hope people are like $5,000. That's not. It doesn't cost $5,000 to bring us in. For that.
If you're shooting a big scene, you need a 5K or two.
Okay. Anyway.
So, and like we said a couple weeks ago, our frustration for everyone is that when we saw what had happened with Charlie Kirk, and just now it's almost every week. It's like every Sunday, some church is going to get attacked. Can I just make a side note here? If you are in a church that does not have a security team,
oh boy, yeah.
Here's the steps that you need to raise that concern with leadership.
Immediately.
Okay? Immediately. You cannot allow this to happen. They are looking.
What did we hear earlier? I loved this takeaway from a podcast, about protecting the flock.
Yes. When you mess with the flock, you get the Glock.
All joking aside, but not. There are you need a security team. There are people.
So start by raising this concern with leadership, the pastor, the elders, and don't let up.
Yeah.
This is beyond irresponsible at this point.
It's paramount.
You have to do this. If you need help with that, there are a lot of good organizations around. If you can't find any help, send an email and I will try to help, because I help run a security team for a church. I've done this for several churches.
Well, you've built several for schools, private schools, and
teams for churches and schools. I'm a certified firearms instructor. And I've just done this. It's not my everyday. Obviously, we make movies, but I'm passionate about this because I understand my role as a godly husband and father is to be a protector. And that means that you have to put on a sword and stand between the bad guys and the innocent. So,
Do we wish it weren't that way? Absolutely.
Boy, I'm telling you, every week I wish I didn't have to.
Mm-hmm. And there are many other people in America, but I'm telling you, the fight has only begun.
Yeah.
Like people, the things that we put in Dysphoria is almost 2 years old, and it's done nothing but ramp up. It
is no less
attacks.
Relevant today.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, it's even more relevant
Yes.
today, because when we made it and released it, a lot of it was predicting here's what's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is upon us, and
Yeah.
that's what frustrates us, because we look at it and go, we've been talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Many of you have been talking about this, and
yeah, we're not the only ones.
we're not the only ones. So let me just remind you. So what in films like Dysphoria, we talk about these disruptive groups, these accelerationists like Antifa. Proverbs 29 verse 8, mockers stir up a city, but wise men turn away anger. And here's another one. Speaking about being quick to jump on the conspiracy bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Be very careful as believers who you're listening to and who you're repeating. Be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I never hear any of these conspiracy theorists go back and apologize for saying things incorrectly. They just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And verse 20, Proverbs 29:20. Do you see a man who speaks in haste? There is more hope for a fool than for him.
Mm.
I have been beat nonstop over telling people to chill out on the conspiracy theories, especially about something like Charlie Kirk. Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
And for the one in particular who told me that I should go back to sleep and I'm part of the problem, and told me, quote, I've been right about every one of these things. Therefore, and so I go back and I say, there is more hope for a fool than you.
Mm-hmm. And just for words of encouragement for people, when people comment or say something to you online, you need to be discerning and weigh whether or not that person's voice belongs in your life.
You're not going to convert them on Facebook.
You are not going to convert people on social platforms. All they want to do is be keyboard warriors most of the time and spew things without evidence or facts. And don't allow those people to, derail you in any way. If you know the truth, you walk in truth, continue to speak in truth.
Yeah. So one last.
And the truth is Jesus Christ and his word.
Yes. And speaking of, verse 25, Proverbs 29, verse 25. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe.
Amen.
Is it enough? Can the Lord save? Yes, absolutely he can. But what does Nehemiah say? I don't remember the exact reference, but it says we prayed to the Lord and then we posted a guard.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they had a trowel in one hand and a sword in the other.
Yes. In fact, there's an organization called the Sword and the Trowel.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Right. So don't be foolish about this. Just going back to, Christians need to understand that these things are happening. Rejoice in the fact that if you are being persecuted, that you're counted worthy of being persecuted.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have anything else to add?
Anyway, no, I was going to say, what was that last part?
Whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe.
Yeah, that may not be here on earth. I just want you to, I just have to remind people your safety and security is in eternity with the Lord.
That's right.
Right. All right. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thanks for listening through to the end, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and share this with your family and friends. Until next time, march on, saints, and be filled with the Spirit.
You're everyone's problem. I am dangerous.